I don't think we did that. Okay. I have finally, or unfinally, however you want to get it, I have beaten Professor Layton in the Diabolical box. It took longer than the first game, and unlike the first game, I actually didn't write down any thoughts for this, primarily because I don't have a ton of things to say. Um, I think, as a whole, I think this game is better than the first one. I mentioned that one of my big criticisms of the first one is that none of the puzzles were actually related to the story of the game. It would have been really nice if you could move into a scenario where you need to open a door, and instead of just opening the door, you get a puzzle to open the door. You know, it's tied to the story at large. And this game actually has a decent amount of those type of puzzles. And so I was very happy that they incorporated those into the game. I think the story is, a little ludicrous. As I mentioned, I'm pretty sure we haven't solved the death of that one guy. There was that one guy who dressed up as that one chick, and just what's going on. I think the hallucinogenic gas is an interesting idea that they just kind of, like, we're just gonna go off the walls with this. Yeah. I think as a whole, the story is a little bit more believable than the first game. I mean, the first game's about robots that basically have personalities, perhaps. It's I do think it's an improvement. In regards to the puzzles, I think the puzzles were actually a little bit more manageable. There weren't as many classic Layton puzzles in here where they get you with the gotchas. So I appreciate that a lot more. I really do like the amount of voice acting that's in this game. There's a considerable amount more voice acting in this game than the first one, and I really do hope they continue that trend, because it's really nice to actually listen to the voice acting. It's actually pretty good in these Layton games, so I gotta give them props for that. Is there anything else that I feel needs to be said? And I don't think there is really. I think overall, I do think it's an improvement over the first, but it does falter in some areas, especially with the story. But yeah, as a whole, I could see myself enjoying this game much more than the first if I were to play this one first and then the first one second. So there's that. And then there's a lot of really nice characters in this one too. Like I'm forgetting his name, but the conductor guy that likes to sing or whatever. Inspector Chelmy gets a comeback here, and he does his thing. Yeah. Let's see. Don Paolo is reoccurring. I figured. It seems like he has some history from games before the Curious Village or something like that, or I don't know where he comes from. He pulls some Mission Impossible stuff with the masks. Yes, he does. It's suspension of disbelief is what you have to kind of operate under for these Layton games. So far, these stories are 2 for 2 in the sense of not being like really interesting. How do I want to put this? just really interesting vanilla detective stories. It's they kind of want they kind of go to an outlandish story, and they kind of do a little bit of outlandish things. You know, they uh they touch the boundaries of fantasy and then give you real world explanations as to why they work. So there's that. You will say that they do this game with the voice acting and cutscenes.
Come look at this article, you two.
Is impressive given the DS game. I agree. Yes.
Miracle Rescue saves beloved academic. So, the doctor's alive after all.
We'll visit him as soon as we return.
Oh, but that might conflict with the symposium you have scheduled in London tomorrow.
Well then, I'll simply have to cancel.
Huh?
After all, Luke, one must always show gratitude to one's teachers. That's what a gentleman does.
Well, there's that. Doctor's alive. Well done, video game. You just wrapped it up for us. The end. All right. Yeah, I don't know what the next one is. We hope you enjoyed Professor Layton and the Diabolical Box. Though you've reached the end of our story, the fun is just beginning. It seems that you solved 134 puzzles before beating the game. Your performance is near perfect. The story mode of this game contains 138 puzzles in total. If you haven't solved all of them already, try to find and complete them all. Also, check the bonuses section where you can unlock more content by fulfilling certain criteria. If you unlock enough stuff, you might even find some new and challenging puzzles. Have a great time playing through the rest of Professor Layton and the Diabolical Box. Since you've come to the end of the story, your game will now save. When you continue this game, you will resume play inside Herzen Castle just before fighting Anton. From there, you're free to return to town and hunt after items and puzzles you missed. Thank you very much. Alrighty, so on the YouTube side, this is where my thoughts end.